If you're completely new to CapCut, then this video is for you. We're going to cover how to trim clips to cut out pauses or mistakes, adding text to a video, adding or removing audio, and finally exporting your video when it's finished. So let's get into it. Once you've got it installed, you're going to open the application and you're going to be met with this screen here. So we're going to click on Create Project, and that's how we're going to get started. That's going to open up this window, and this is where we're going to do all of our work on our video. If you do get stuck, I'm going to leave the chapters in the description so you can rewind, fast forward, however you see fit. So the first thing we're going to want to do is work with a very basic video clip. In order to do that, we're going to bring our attention to the top left hand side of the screen. The import button is what we're going to need to click, and then select the video that we're going to work with today. Now you can select more than one, but for now I'm just going to select one clip. Click on import, and that's going to bring it up to this top left hand side here. And this is where all of your media is going to be if you select the media tab here. Now in order to work on that video, we need to drag it down to the timeline. There are a couple of ways of doing that. You can drag and drop it, or you can press the plus symbol. I'm going to press this symbol here, and it's going to put it into our timeline. And it's from there that you're going to be able to edit that video. The first thing that I need to show you is the playhead. That's the small stick that you can see here. If you click on that, hold down the mouse button, you can drag your way through the video, and you can see that it will essentially scroll through the clip that you've put onto the timeline. The first thing that I'm going to want to do is cut out any pauses or mistakes from this video. And for the majority of people, if you're just getting started, that's going to be the biggest use case for this software. If you've got a blog or you're doing YouTube videos and you make a mistake, instead of starting right from the beginning and having to re-record the whole scene, you can just cut that piece out and act like it never happened. So I'm going to bring the playhead to this section here, and I'm going to bring your attention to these small buttons here. You can see we've got split. If I press that, it's going to turn that into two separate clips that we can work with. We've got delete left and delete right. I'm just going to undo the action that I just did. And this is a really helpful button that you're going to need to remember. If you ever make a mistake, just stop what you're doing and press this button here, which will undo the last action that you did. So I'm going to press that button and it's going to undo the action. So now that we have a whole clip again, and I've identified where I want to make my pause, I'm going to select delete left, and that's going to delete everything to the left hand side of that clip. Now I think I'm where I want to be, so I'm going to press play or hit the space bar as a shortcut. The question that I was asked the most when I started a YouTube channel by my friends and my family, well, why are you doing it? So I'm happy with that section, but now I want to cut out another pause. I don't want to delete left because I want to keep it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select split instead. Now we can skip through to the next part of the video that I want to keep, which is about here. If you look on the bottom of this clip, you can see all these little bars. That indicates that there's audio in the scene. We'll get to that a little bit later in this video, but for now, just know that that's a really good indication of when there are pauses in your speech. If it's flat like this, then you know there's no audio. So if you're just looking to cut out pauses, it's a really helpful trick. So I'm happy with this section here. So I've moved the playhead, and then I'm going to click delete left. There is a shortcut for that, and that's by pressing the Q button. And if you hover over any of these buttons, it will indicate what the shortcut for that button is. As you get used to the software, you might want to start using the shortcuts. But for now, it's absolutely fine if you just use the mouse. That's how I started, and it's perfectly acceptable. So I'm going to click on delete left, and now you'll see that it's removed the section to the left-hand side of the playhead. So we can start the video again. The question that I was asked the most when I started a YouTube channel by my friends and my family, well, why are you doing it? Okay, perfect. It's exactly where I want it to be. So if you just want to cut out pauses in your video, or perhaps remove a mistake, that's pretty much it. And feel free to skip ahead to the exporting part of the video. But I encourage you to stick around because there are a couple of things that I'm going to show you that you might find useful. Right, so the next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to add text onto the video itself. It's really useful if you want to emphasize a point that you're making, or if you just want to denote a chapter perhaps in the video. I'm going to use a different clip now, and I'm going to drag that onto the timeline like I showed you before. So the clip's on the timeline, and I need to identify the section that I want to add text. So right at the beginning of this clip, I want to add my text as a heading. So we go up to this section here and we click on text. There are lots of options here, but I mostly just use default text, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Press the plus symbol on default text, and you'll see that over on the right hand side in the video window, which I'm going to make a little bit bigger, you'll see the words default text. Now that's obviously not what we want. So we go over to the right hand side, and in this text box we can delete and type what it is we actually want to see. So I've got my text in there. Now it's not quite in the right position. To move that text, all we need to do is drag and drop it where we want it. So I'm going to move it around and I want to put it at the top of the video. CapCut's really helpful. It will tell you when your text is in the middle of the screen. So that's where I want it. There are a couple of things that you need to know. That text would stop appearing when you get to the end of the text box on the layer there. If you want that to continue through to the end of the video or to a specific section, click and hold onto the text box on the timeline and drag that out to exactly where you want it to stop. For me, I want it to stop at the end of the clip. So I'm going to drag it all the way to the end. And now you'll see that that text is on the screen all the way through to the end of the video. Perfect. Next, we want to change the font because it's not quite right and it's quite basic. So over on the right hand side here, you'll see there are lots of options. Firstly, to change the font, we just go into this drop down list and you'll see lots of different options for font. Some of these you're going to need the professional version, and if you haven't paid for that, that's absolutely fine because there are still lots of options here to choose from. I'm going to select luxury because I think it looks nice, and then I'm going to make the font slightly bigger by dragging this bar. That looks good to me, but I might want to change the colour so it stands out slightly. So I'm going to click into here, choose the colour that I want. Okay, I'm happy with that. Feel free to have a play around with these text options. Now that we've got two layers on the timeline, if you want to edit one or the other, you're going to have to select that layer before you edit it. So we've got the text layer selected at the moment, but if you want to edit the video layer, just click on that and the options change. Now I'm going to demonstrate audio, adding audio and removing audio. Now for this video here, it has got some audio, and if I was to play that, it's going to be quite loud because it's dogs running across the beach and also you've got wind noise. I want this to be an introduction clip. I don't want any audio that I've recorded with the camera at the time, and I want to add a background track onto that clip. There is an option with the professional version to right click and extract the audio. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to presume you don't have the pro version, and I'm going to show you a workaround. I'm going to highlight that video layer, go over and up to the top right hand side, and next to video you've got the audio tab. Select that and then drag the volume of the audio all the way to the bottom. Now when I press play, there's no sound, which is perfect for adding a background track. Now to add a background track, all we need to do is import the file that we want to use. I use the YouTube audio library. It's all free, and you're not going to get any copyright issues. I'll leave a link in the description below. Once you've downloaded the track that you want to use, we go back to the media tab and we press import. Now I've got one downloaded here and I'm going to import it. Now we need to add that to the timeline. The same as before, we're going to press the plus symbol and you'll see that it's moved it down in front of the playhead. But that's not quite right. We want it to be right at the beginning of the clip so it covers the whole video. So we're going to drag and drop it at the beginning. Now if I was to press play, it's going to be really loud and we don't want that. It's a background track. So we're going to select the audio clip, we're going to go up to the top right hand side and we're going to reduce the audio down. For background tracks, I usually like to do -15 decibels and it usually sounds okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. But if you notice, the audio track is longer than the video clip. We don't want that, so we need to make it the same size. So in order to do that, we move the playhead to the end of the clip here, select the audio track, and then we'll go and delete right. And that's it. We've added text to our video, reduced the audio of the main track, and added a background track. The final part of this demonstration is going to be exporting the video that we've just made onto your hard drive so that you can use it or upload it to YouTube. Once you're happy with your video, in order to export it, you need to go up to the top right hand side, press the big blue export button. You're going to see a few options here. The first job is to rename the file. Once you've done that, you need to select a location that the video file is going to export to. I'm going to select downloads, and once that's done, we move down to the video details. For the resolution, I recommend that you select whichever resolution that you recorded the video in originally. For me, that's 4K. Bitrate I leave at higher as a default, and the codec I choose H.264. That's going to be a default codec for most people. The format is MP4, but you can change that to MOV. I don't, I leave it at default. And the frame rate needs to match the frame rate that you recorded the video in. For me, that's 30 FPS. We're going to leave audio unticked because if we tick that, it's going to export the audio as a separate file, and we don't need that today. There are some things to bear in mind here. Depending on how powerful your machine is, you might have issues exporting or even editing in 4K. If that's the case, drop the resolution down to 1080p. You'll find that it's still more than usable for most videos. Once you're happy, select export and you'll find it in your file explorer at the location that you selected. Like anything, it's going to take a bit of practice, but if you do struggle with this process, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer you. Likewise, if there's anything else that you need a hand with, let me know and I'll make a video about it. Please remember to give this video a like and I'll see you on the next one.